the pujari area and things do become disorganized. So every week she'd spend the weekend just organizing everything and cleaning everything at the temple, and she'd do that. So another thing she did as well, setting a good example of steadiness. She was she says she wanted to, she told me she wanted to bring out the fun side of people, and make people feel, you know, that devotional service is a happy experience. You know what I mean? Not that tapasya, austerity. There is tapasya, austerity, but when you're enjoying something, you don't actually think it's tapasya or austerity. So she decided. So she told me that she wanted to bring out the fun side of people, and she was very humorous as well, very humorous. And she assembled a really good team, strong team of and she trained them up to be very steady. And she also, celebrated their birthday. She built like a team spirit there, and it was very, very nice. And she, for example, she'd make devotees. They were always laughing. Whenever you went up there, the girls were laughing, and it was a lot of a humorous exchange, and it was really, really good. And she was very shastrically based. She loved Srila Prabhupada's books, and she knew them extremely well. She read the whole Bhagavatam, I think, between 5 or 7 times. So whatever advice she gave to the girls who were under her protection, it was from Srila Prabhupada's books. And she got devoted to really, really fun things. I was looking through her photographs, and I found this photo. It was of Ramashakti Mataji. Ramashakti Mataji, she was cooking the Raj Bhog in the kitchen, and she was wearing these, these Minnie Mouse ears. She said she's peeling some potatoes, and she's wearing these Minnie Mouse ears, smiling and laughing in the Pujari department. So, she really, I hope I'm embarrassed. Just found it. And then when I looked through some more, there was also the other Pujari ladies wearing Minnie Mouse ears. So, she brought a sense of fun to the actual girls, and they really liked to be around her. And a really good team, really excellent team. And I remember once I was cooking the Raj Bhog and I burnt my hand. And immediately there were two pujaris there, just immediately came and just finished off the offering. I was amazed that there's such a team spirit, really. It was excellent. So at that time, our president head pujari, Murli Manohara Prabhu, he entered the scene, and she asked him to make the mango sweets. So Murli was, I saw how he did make the mango sweet. He did everything exactly, according to how he was shown. And that was when he was in the Pujari area, he made the mango sweets. And it was really, they were always first class. And Vilasni called him Murli Mango Sweet. So in 1992, Shiva Ram Swami, was the GBC of Hungary. He was also GBC here as well. So GBC of England and also Hungary. He wanted to establish deity worship in Hungary. And he wanted to establish Gauranitai, deity worship first of all. So he sent one of his Brahmin ladies to come here to be trained by Vilasni. And she trained this Hungarian Mataji in worshipping Sri Radha Londonishvaras as a good foundation. Lord Jagannath also, and Gauranitai as a good training. So when she went back to Hungary, she could take up the deity worship. So she was here, and she trained her up. Then Vilasni went to Hungary herself, invited by Shiva Ram Swami in 1993, and there helped to install the Gauranitai deities in Hungary. And then from that, of course, we see that the deity worship has expanded to Radha Krishna deities and so on. But that was what she did. Now full deity worship is taking place in Hungary. Now, In September 1993, she was diagnosed with having cancer. It was ovarian cancer, and for ovarian cancer, it's only a 20% chance of survival. So, you know, I couldn't believe it, because when she went to the hospital, you know, they diagnosed, they said it was phase 4. So I was thinking, you know, what's happened to phase 1, 2, and 3? But anyway, it was phase 4, that means it's terminal. And so, you know, I was really shocked. I was really shocked. I was wondering what was happening. But what happened was that she continued with her service. She just continued with her service. She traveled in, managed the Pujari department, did as much service as possible. One of the services she did was making the ghee wicks for the offering in the pujas, to Guru Puja, and all the aratis as well. She made those ghee wicks for the whole week, and she'd bring them in for all the pujaris to use in the actual worship. Now, I mean, she continued with that, and you know, it was very difficult, because the body can give you so much pain. You cannot believe how much pain the body can actually give you. The cancer caused a lot of pain, and they wanted to put her on morphine, because the painkillers don't work. The normal painkillers don't work, so they put you on morphine. What it is a morphine pump. It's like the size of a small book, and there's a syringe, and there's a pump that pumps in morphine into your bloodstream regularly, so you know, you're protected from the pain, because the pain is so horrendous. And even then, you know, you find people still have pain. Anyway, she told me that initially she was put on this, but she asked the doctors to be removed because it caused hallucinations, she said, and she couldn't think of Krishna. That's what she told me. So they took her off it, of course, but then the pain was there, the agony was there. And many times she'd be curled up on her bed in agony for hours. But you know, she told me she chanted prayers. She used to chant prayers to Lord Chaitanya. And one prayer she chanted was Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. You know that prayer? That prayers? Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Kora More. And the third line was Haha Prabhu Nityananda Kripa Balokana Koro Ami Bado Duki. Haha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi. Kripa Balokana Koro Ami Bado Duki. Lord Nityananda, you are always in spiritual bliss. I have come to you because I am most unhappy. Kindly glance over me so I may also become happy. So she used to recite these prayers a lot, actually, and other prayers as well. Taking shelter of Gaura Nitai in these times of great trials. So she once told me, because we know from the philosophy that as surrendered devotees, we get token reaction. We don't get the full reaction, which is due to us. So she said to me, if this is the token reaction, what is the full reaction like? So she appreciated Krishna's mercy in obviously these difficult times when she was suffering all this pain. So I was always concerned about her because she lost a lot of weight and she looked extremely thin. If you can imagine a skeleton and skin stretched over the skeleton, that's how she looked in 1997. So I was really concerned about her rounds. I asked her, are you chanting your rounds? And she looked at me and very seriously said, I chant 100 rounds a day. 100 beads, 100, you know, we chant 16, isn't it? I know for myself, when I have a cold or something I'm ill, it's a struggle just to chant my rounds. But she was undergoing all this pain, and yet she was chanting 100 rounds a day. So after that, I never asked her again about her rounds. So anyway, she read the books, Srila Prabhupada's books. She would read 50 pages a day, and when she couldn't read anymore, I would read to her as well. She had total faith in Srila Prabhupada's books, and she loved Srila Prabhupada's books. And everything whatever advice she gave to the girls under her charge in the Pujari department was from Srila Prabhupada's books. She joined in 1970. Her name was Mary. She was on a bus. I can't remember which city it was. Maybe Washington. I'm not quite sure. And she looked out of the window. She saw some people, she said, dressed in bright orange and singing at the street corner. And she told me she thought to herself, these people have a nerve standing there dressed in bright orange singing. So, so she got off the bus and she went over and she started speaking to them. And one of the devotees started preaching to her about Srila Prabhupada and the books about Krishna. Then she asked him, does this book contain the absolute truth? And he said yes. And then she said, I'll take one. So then she bought one, and then she told me she went back home and she read it, the whole thing. And then she joined the movement. She realized she had to join the movement. And she joined. In 1970, she was initiated by Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada gave her her beads. He said, your name is Vilasini, one who enjoys with Krishna. So anyway, after initiation, she worked in the BBT. The BBT was producing Srila Prabhupada's books at that time. She worked on the indexes to the actual books. She also worked in that project managed by Srila Rameshwara, who was producing 17 volumes of Chaitanya Charitamrita in 2 months. And when they had completed it, Srila Rameshwara wrote a letter listing all the devotees who had actually helped to produce those books, and her name was on it. Srila Prabhupada wrote back and said, these devotees are going back to Godhead. So she was, after that, she was head pujari in Detroit, USA, then head pujari in Paris, Sri Shivada Parashishvara, in New Mayapur, also in Spain she was head pujari. And then she, passing through Bangladesh, where she was acting as a pujari, and there she met me, and it was, you know, we just got on so well together. We just clicked. She was a little older than myself, but it's something we just clicked, as you say. We just connected extremely well, and I thought to myself when I met her, I thought, I'm going to be with this person the rest of my life. So we got extremely well. We helped each other in whatever service either of us did. We helped each other. She left her body in London, which is the Dham of Sri Radha Londonishvaras. She was at St. Joseph's Hospice there, and she was in a coma. When I arrived there that morning, she was in a coma. I phoned Lila Shakti. She came to the temple. It was about 8 o'clock. Jaitra Swami was giving class. Murli Manhara was on the altar offering the arati, and Lila Shakti came, stood by the door, and then Jaitra Swami asked what was wrong. She said, Velasi's leaving her body. So Jaitra Swami said, well, if there's no questions, we can go. So Mahajuri Prabhu, the temple president at that time, organized all the devotees to come down to St. Joseph's Hospice. And when they came in, she was in the coma. Jaitra Swami started chanting. And after about 10 minutes, I think, she came out of the coma. And she said 2 things. She was so weak, she couldn't move. She said, pick me up, lift me up, she said, and hand me my beads. And then that was it. And the devotees were there for about 8 hours. And it was a lot of devotees. The whole room was packed with devotees from Soho Street. From the manor, they were coming. They filled up the waiting room. All the nurses there said, you know, you've got to stop these people coming. So someone phoned the manor and said, look, if you can't come. It's just, we filled up the whole room. The whole waiting room is full up. So you have to stop, you know. But still, they kept on coming. Do you know what I mean? Which is wonderful. And anyway, also there was a phone there. They had to moved the phone to her room because she was receiving phone calls from all her god sisters from around the world. That shows we're a real international society. Just, that day, the news spread around the world, and all her god sisters were phoning her. Bhagavan, who was he also phoned from America. Indrajumna Swami phoned from Poland. He wanted to get on the plane and come over, and but somehow it just wasn't possible. He was in Poland at the time, the flights. It was due to the flights, it wasn't due to him. He tried to make arrangements to come. And he preached to her on the phone. He said to her, let go of everything. He said to her, let go of everything. Just chant. That's what he said. Let go of everything and just chant. So that's what she did. And she left about 6 o'clock. And on the 8th of July 1997. And I was just amazed that I thought of her as my wife, but you could see she wasn't my wife. She's a devotee of Krishna. Krishna gave me her association to help me in my devotional service. And if I had known that in the beginning, I'm sure I would act a lot more differently, a lot more appreciative. But I'm very thankful Krishna gave me her association. I remember she was saying to me, because I was looking after her for about 4 years, she said to me, I don't know how to repay you for what you've done. And I said to her that if you chant Hare Krishna when you're leaving your body, then that's complete repayment. And she said, that's the deal. So for sure, she was chanting Hare Krishna because she was such a person. Anyway, on this day when the devotees are honoring her, I just want to say all glories to Balaskali Devi Dasi, a very, very wonderful, wonderful wife, wonderful devotee, and a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful head pujari. Balaskali Devi Dasi ki.